new career. If you're feeling stuck or burned out at your current job, 2024 could be the time to make a major change. The founder of Wilbanks Consulting Group, Holly Wilbanks, is back to share what you should consider before making the switch. So good to see you.
Good to see you too, Heather.
I haven't seen you since December, I think. So
I know, it's been a little while.
Happy New Year. We made it through the holidays, which is always a plus.
We did. Big achievement.
So I want to start first about talking about the difference between career shifts and career changes. Can you talk about that?
There is a difference. So a shift is moving into another role or another job where you can just take the existing skills and education and experience that you have and make that change without necessarily having to go back to school or without having to maybe develop some additional skills before you can move into that role. It's pretty easy. A career change is a little bit different. It's a lot more involved. Typically, it's like going from being a sales associate to then going into nursing. You may not necessarily know how to draw blood or insert a catheter or something like that. Those are skills that you would have to go back, get the appropriate education and training for to then be able to make that change. And
yeah, go ahead.
What we're seeing in the market is that a lot of people are trying to make changes, not just shifts, but big changes without doing sort of the proper planning for that.
And so planning is going to be everything. But do you think that, I mean, to me, it seems like a much different career path for most people because, you know, we heard of our grandparents staying in a career for decades or their entire career.
Absolutely. And I think that dynamic has drastically shifted. So typically employers are thinking to themselves, if we can get this person to stay in this role for 3 to 5 years, that is a huge win.
Wow.
We are seeing a lot more movement, not only from company to company, but certainly even within the bigger companies from role to role. And businesses are anticipating that. And candidates and employees should be thinking, okay, what is my next move? Where would I like to go next? And being strategic, but also understanding that you have to gain the skills and experience to be able to do that, most likely before you get thrown into the fire.
So let's talk about planning, because you mentioned that this is a huge part of this. So how can people accomplish a career change, do the proper planning they need to?
So we encourage people to start with a little bit of research, and you don't necessarily have to hire a firm like ours. You can go to your public library. Carnegie Public Library here in Pittsburgh, they have a platform. It is called Career Cruising, and Career Cruising will literally walk you through a little questionnaire, and then it will tell you about some jobs that are a good fit for your skills and of course your personality and your interests.
This reminds me so much of like the high school test that we all took. I don't know if it still exists, but
it is similar to that. And this is not the be all and end all. This is one data point that you should use. So take a online assessment like that and look at the different jobs, sort of the education required and all of that. Use that data. Then dig into what are these jobs really. And to do that, you can do some research online, but you can also do informational interviews. Informational interviews are where you actually sit down with the people doing the job that you think you want to do, or you meet with them virtually, or you have a phone call with them and you say, Heather, I think I would love to be on the news someday. What is that like? And then you tell them the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the things that people who are just tuning in today may not see about that career.
Right, really fill them in on what the duties of doing that job would look like.
Exactly. And then of course, you also want to make sure that you make an informed decision. And the informed decision could lead you to a new career. It could lead you to a shift in the meantime. If it's something that's entrepreneurial related, we're recommending to our clients that if they can start it as a part-time or side hustle, they do that before quitting their day job.
Yeah, do that for sure, because you don't want to give up on one thing, especially that steady income if you have it.
Exactly.
What do people do if they're struggling to sort all of this out?
So they need to get some support, and there's lots of resources within the Pittsburgh area. First of all, if you have a college degree, your Career Development Center should be your first stop. They can also put you in contact with alumni. Again, Carnegie Public Library has that Career Cruising platform. PA Career Link actually meets at some of the library locations and can can provide additional support at those libraries, or you can contact them directly. Jewish Family and Community Services has their career center. And then of course you can always hire a coach if that's within your budget. Just make sure you do your research and get some references.
While you're here, I wanted to ask you something else, because we're talking about career changes and shifts that may be happening later on into your employment. But I want to talk about some of the younger generations. A recent study came out from the online magazine Intelligent. I'm going to read this because 39% of employers actively avoid hiring recent college graduates for roles they are qualified for. 1 in 5 employers say they're unprepared and often unprofessional. Can you talk a little bit about this, and what are some of those unprofessional characteristics they're talking about?
Okay, so this data was very interesting to me. One, I am highly disturbed that they're literally avoiding hiring Gen Z because of this. I'm highly disturbed that there's a huge gap in professionalism and preparedness too. We're going to have to look into that, Heather.
Right. I mean, really. I mean, because some of the things were like, they, as reported in this, not making eye contact, asking for unreasonable compensation, not dressing appropriately. But again, does this fall back on this generation, Gen Z, or does this fall back on them not being prepared while they're in school and in their first jobs?
I think it has to do with educating Gen Z on what the standard is. And, you know, something as simple as a virtual interview. Apparently 21% of them are refusing to turn their cameras on for virtual interviews. Virtual interviews are here to stay nowadays. And you have to know how to do that. And part of that is turning your camera on and being camera ready, whatever that means to you. The statistic about dressed unprofessionally, again, be curious to unpack what different definitions of professional dress are, because that has changed significantly. So I think it's a matter of educating Gen Z. We think our colleges and universities are doing this. What's happening is these students are not going to their career development center for the appropriate support. So we need to bridge that gap. But parents also need to recognize, particularly for students who aren't going to a college or university, they want to take 15 to 20 minutes before their child goes into an interview or leaves to go to that interview, and make sure that they are prepared with sort of the typical standards.
You know, it's interesting to really hear about all of this, because I think as a, you know, outside kind of observer, we've been talking a lot about how this has become the mainstream, and that these younger generations are spending so much time on their devices that there is that lack of social communication. Eye contact is mentioned here. So how do we correct that? How do we prepare them for the more social aspects of employment?
So I think it is difficult because every student, whether they're coming out of high school or whether they're coming out of college, has had different experiences. As parents, as guardians, and as employers, we need to look at each individual student and say, what experiences have they had? If they have not had an internship at all, they're coming in possibly blind. You're going to want to ask them up front, what do you know about our dress code? What do you know about our office environment in terms of what's acceptable and not? We heard from a recent graduate recently that she was trying to watch something on her phone in the office, and there's cubicles all around her, and her boss came over and said, I can't believe I even have to tell you that you can't do that in the office. She genuinely did not know that that was disruptive to the people around her. And so just these little things that, you know, it was totally fine for that person to do that maybe in the college library quietly, but in an office environment, it's a little bit different.
It's much different. Holly, thank you. I think we could have talked about this for another 10 minutes or longer. Thank you. If you're interested in checking out the resources Holly mentioned on her career coaching services, we'll have links on our website.